Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating, to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. A little bit of real talk for you first up today is that I am now recording this episode for the second time because unfortunately sometimes in the world of podcasting, even though you get to listen to this perfectly polished and edited episode, often there are tech issues and things go wrong. And so I got a surprise when I had to re-record this episode because the microphone didn't actually record properly through the software. So this is my second time recording this episode, and I know it is going to be just as good, if not better, than the first episode that I recorded. Now, this topic in particular is something that comes up a lot. It comes up so much in my coaching calls, in the membership, in my DMs, in emails, that women that I talk to on social media. And it's this all or nothing diet mindset that we all experience as women. So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you all about how you can actually break free from that all or nothing diet mindset. And so you can achieve sustainable weight loss and food freedom, because it really is something that as a woman that you need to tackle, because that all or nothing mindset is something that will just constantly keep dragging you back, and it will also keep stopping you from getting the results that you want, because it is a mindset shift that we really need to work towards creating a new mindset about food, so it's not this all or nothing approach. So do you ever feel like that you're sort of stuck in this phase of like, well, you're all in 1 week. So you track every bite, you like hit your protein, you do your steps, you get your workouts in, like you're all in 1 week. Like you're so good, you do everything perfectly. And then the next week, everything unravels and you're back to square one and you're starting all over again. So it might have been that your child got sick, that something happened at work, something happened with a family member, a car issue, something comes up and you literally drop the ball, you drop everything that you're doing and you're all the way back to the start. We have all been there, me included. And I know that we can often feel just stuck in this loop and this cycle where we eat really well for a certain period of time and then something comes up and we can't do it perfectly, so we ditch it and then we start all over again. And to be honest, it is really a horrible place to be in. I've been there. Like I remember I'd like sign up for the new program on the Monday and I'm like, okay. And on the Sunday I do my meal prep and my meal plan and I had to have everything organized. And I'd be like, yes, this time's going to be different. Like I'm going to smash it. It's going to feel really good. And I'd be really good. Monday was good. Yep. Okay. Tuesday was pretty good. Wednesday. And then Thursday things start to unravel because I'd had a late night or my child was in my bed or like there was extra stresses at work and all this sort of stuff. And I couldn't take my meal prep lunch or I didn't have time to make the healthy dinner I planned and everything starts to fall apart. And so what you do and what I did is I went, oh, okay, well, I'll just stop now. I couldn't do it perfectly. So I'll just stop now. And then you stop. And then you get stuck in this cycle where you're like, oh, okay, well, I won't do it anymore now, and then I'll just pick it up later. And often it can be, I'll pick it up again on Monday. Often it can be, I'll pick up, actually, no, hang on, no, on Monday. And then we start going down this, but no, Monday. And then I've got that work thing due. And then it's my son's birthday. Oh, okay, maybe I'll start like the next month. And then you just sort of have this snowballing effect where starting again Monday becomes next month, in 2 months, in 3 months, and you starting your wellness journey and your healthy eating and weight loss journey just gets pushed further and further back and you just get stuck in this awful loop. And like I said, I have been there and it is the worst place to be stuck in. So really want to give you lots of tips and ideas of how you can finally break free from this feeling that it has to be all or nothing or on or off. Okay, that's how we talk about it. So it's all or nothing, or this sort of on or off way to look at weight loss, healthy eating, and also like your fitness and your workouts and your daily movement. I just want to start off by saying that it is not your fault. I'll repeat that. It is not your fault that you have an all or nothing mindset around food. The reason that you have this is because as women, we have been taught that to eat healthy means to eat perfectly, and that is just not the case. No one eats perfectly. No one, ever. I don't eat perfectly. Every day of eating is not perfect. Every day of my workouts is not perfect. Okay, but that's why we get stuck in this all or nothing mindset, because we've been taught that, well, healthy eating and dieting and weight loss is something that you have to do perfectly. And that has come from the fact that in advertising and the programs that are available are all short-term, quick fix challenges, lose this much weight in this many weeks. Just a little FYI too, if you ever come across a program that is telling you that you can lose a certain amount of weight by like in a certain amount of weeks or by a certain date or a month, run. No one can promise you that, because every woman is different and every woman loses weight in different ways. So if you ever come across a plan or a program that says it gives you a promise that you can lose a certain amount of weight in a certain amount of time, you need to run. But like I said, it's all of these programs and plans and things that are out there that are teaching us that to eat well, we do it perfectly. Okay. And that's why we get stuck in this all or nothing mindset, because as women, we think, well, if I can't do this perfectly, then I'm not going to do it at all. And the reality is you can actually get some really great results just by showing up a little bit every single day. It doesn't have to be 110% every day. It can just be a little bit every single day. Some days might be 10% because that's all you've got to give. Some days might be 110%. Other days might be 50%. And that is something that we need to start normalizing around us gals, around us women, that you don't have to eat perfectly in order to be healthy and also in order to lose weight and to reach your goals. Perfectionism is not needed. But how do we get out of this all or nothing approach? That's where we get stuck. But before I go into my top tips, I've kind of found in my experience that there's sort of like two types of all or nothing women. So female number one, she eats perfectly for 1 to 2 weeks, then everything falls apart. Okay. So you follow the plan, you follow the program, you get your 7 days of gym workouts in, you do your steps, you drink your water, you hit your protein, you do it for 1 to 2 weeks, and then it falls apart. And the reason it falls apart is because you run out of time, or because what you'd plan to do, something comes up in your everyday life that you can't do it. So that means you can't eat your meal prep lunch at work because you had to like work through your lunch break and you didn't get to eat. Or like your child has some extra like basketball practice or something and that you couldn't make the healthy dinner that you'd planned at home. Stuff comes up, and so then you just completely drop the ball and say, oh, it's just too hard. I'm just going to do it again later and I'll start again another time. So that's female number one. She eats perfectly for 1 to 2 weeks, stops doing it perfectly, and then just says, well, I'm not doing it anymore. And then I found there is female number two. And she is the 5-day perfectionist. Now, the 5-day perfectionist likes to eat perfectly or good all week. So what that means is she eats only what she considers and classifies as good food all week. So that's only healthy things, like super healthy things. So she doesn't eat any chocolate. She has no wine. She doesn't have any chips. She eats no junk food, nothing at all. She doesn't have anything with sugar in it. She eats absolutely perfectly for 5 days. And then Friday night and Saturday morning roll around, and the 5-day perfectionist goes all YOLO and says, well, it's the weekend. I've been so good all week, so I can just eat whatever I like on the weekend. And then come Sunday night, she feels super guilty for all of the bad food that she's eaten. And then she tells herself that she'll start again on Monday and that she'll be good all week. Can you relate to any of these? Are you the eat perfect for 1 to 2 weeks kind of gal, or are you the 5-day perfectionist that's really, really good during the week and then just goes all YOLO and eats whatever is in sight on the weekend? So there is some really simple ways that we can start ditching this all or nothing approach. Like I said, the first step is just understanding it's not your fault. It is not your fault that this is the way that you view healthy eating and exercise. Okay. It is not your fault. It is just what you have been grown up to believe. It's what you've been led to believe in the media. And you have to start to shake this idea and this belief that in order for you to be successful or for you to consider yourself a healthy person, an active person, a gym person, that you need to do it perfectly, because you don't. No one that is considered healthy is perfect. Okay. They just show up in some capacity for themselves every single day. And that really is the secret. Okay. So how can we ditch this all or nothing? So before I go into my top tips, I really want to stress this. Okay. So you can follow the perfect program, the perfect meal plan. But if you don't work on your mindset alongside eating well and sticking to your calorie deficit and doing all of those things, you will forever feel stuck. Okay. And the reason that you will forever feel stuck is because this all or nothing mindset is your old mindset. In order to be successful for the long term, you need to let go of the old mindset and start to create a new food mindset. And that would be, your new food mindset would involve that you don't need to eat perfectly, that you can show up in some capacity every day, that you don't have to be perfect, that it doesn't have to be do all the things or do none of the things. Okay. But in my experience, if you don't start creating a new food mindset along with your meal plan and your calorie deficit and all those things, you will forever feel stuck, because these old food beliefs and this all or nothing and these thoughts about eating and exercise will forever come back to haunt you. They will always pop up. They will always help you to quit on yourself over and over again. So it's really, really important to create that new mindset. And that's why this is such a huge part of the Healthy Eating Hype Gal membership. Okay, I can give our members the most delicious, easy, quick, tasty, family-friendly meals and yummy food and help them with their calorie deficit and set them up for success. But if I'm not working with the members and our hype girls on creating a new food mindset, they're going to always be stuck. Okay. And that's why the women in the membership are succeeding, because they're creating this new food mindset along with all the other things that need to happen in order to get results, so that they don't quit on themselves, so they don't get dragged back into this old way of thinking that it has to be all or nothing.
The Hype Girl membership is absolutely amazing. I've lost 11.2 kilos while still eating chocolate most days and all the yummy foods. You don't have to give up what you love to be healthy and happy. I absolutely love the Hype Girl community. It's a group of like-minded women who are wanting to be the best versions of themselves, healthy and happy. I feel safe sharing in the space, and it helps with accountability. All of the women in there are just beautiful, and I highly recommend joining. It's the best thing I've ever done for myself. I've been doing a lot of personal development for the last few years, but it wasn't until I joined the Hype Gal membership that I truly realised that I had been binge eating because I was restricting foods that I loved, like chocolate, and making myself feel ashamed because I'm overweight. I can't eat that. People will think I'm disgusting. Whereas now I have chocolate in the house almost all the time. My daughter loves it too. And I eat it whenever I want to, but I don't feel like it all that often because I'm so satisfied with the meals that I'm eating from the Hype Gal membership. It's really, food freedom is the best feeling in the world.
Okay, so here are my top 5 tips to help you break free from that all or nothing mindset. Now, like I said, this can be in relation to healthy eating, it can be in relation to your diet, and it also applies to like fitness and exercise. Because I know a lot of women are like, oh, well, if I can't go to the gym like 7 days a week, then what's the point? Or it's not going to work if I don't like work out for 2 hours every day or a certain amount of time. And just on that note too as well, there is no perfect amount of time to work out. I always get asked that question a lot in my DMs particularly. It's like, well, Jen, how long are your gym sessions or how long are your workouts? It really doesn't matter. If all you can do one day is 20 minutes, it's better than nothing. But again, it's learning to let go and to break free of this all or nothing mindset. You know, you have this mindset of, okay, well, it's only a good workout if it lasts for an hour or 45 minutes, or that's not true. Any workout that you do is a good workout. If that's all you can fit in on that day, it's worth it. And so it's really starting to shift the way that we think about things. Okay, number 1, you need to become aware of it. If you have listened to this and you're going, actually, you know what? I think I'm the 5-day perfectionist, or I think I'm the girl who eats really well for 1 or 2 weeks and then throws in the towel. you need to start becoming aware of it, because so much of what we do every single day as women, we are just unaware of because we're so busy. So we're just jumping from task to task to task, and we just sort of lose that connection to ourselves. So become aware of it. Are you like approaching this whole weight loss and dieting and healthy eating and exercise thing? Are you approaching it with an all or nothing? Are you do all the things or do nothing? Because until you accept and have that awareness that, hey, yes, that's me and I need to start working on this, nothing's going to change. Okay, so it's step one is really honing in and getting back in touch with yourself and asking yourself, is this you? Like, are you one of those females that I talked about? And then this awareness is the key to you taking action and making change. It is very hard to make change when you're not aware of the things that you're doing. This was so true, the case for myself, like so many things and so many ways that I would eat and habits. And I just had no clue that I was actually even doing them until I started to uncover them and bring them to the surface. Why am I doing that? Why do I keep treating myself that way? Why am I overeating on those kind of foods at nighttime? Why am I always hungry at this time of the day? You really start to tune in with yourself, and then you can start taking action and start making that lasting change. Okay, tip number 2, and this is a very, very important one. I want you to just take a second and I just want you to ask yourself, what do you consider as good or bad eating? Now, again, this is going to come down to your mindset, okay? Eating vegetables isn't good and having a donut isn't bad, okay? So I just want you to take a step back and look at the whole picture. So if you're going to eat a donut as part of a healthy, balanced diet where you're active, where you eat really well, you get lots of nutrients, is that okay for you? Is that something that you're comfortable with? Or do you only think that you're healthy or a healthy person if everything you eat is super healthy, super organic, made from scratch? So it's really, really important just to take a moment and to ask yourself, like, what's good or bad eating to you? What does that actually mean? Because the good or bad eating is linked in with the all or nothing. Okay, that the 5-day perfectionist, for example, she's like eating perfectly for 5 days a week and having what she considers as bad food, like things like chocolate and cake and lollies and those kind of things. But she's not able to stick with it because it feels too restrictive. So it's really important to ask yourself, what do you consider a good or a bad food? Because that will help you guide you forward on your path and sort of know what things you need to work on and what things that you need to change. And you'll find too that when you ask yourself this question about what do you consider good or bad or what is healthy eating to you, that you'll see just like where your mindset is at, and you'll find that it's all based on this eating perfectly. I don't understand where this label came from, that food is good or bad. I'm sure it was something that came out of a dieting program like many years ago, but there is no good or bad food. You can actually eat all foods in moderation and still be healthy and happy and vibrant and all of those kind of things. So really just take a moment to ask yourself, what is good or bad eating? What is good or bad food? And what does healthy eating actually look like to you? Tip number 3, and this one will particularly relate to our 5-day perfectionist or our weekday perfectionist. Now, something that can help you break out of this all or nothing approach is that you need to allow yourself some of what you consider bad foods. Now, remember, I've said what you consider bad foods. It doesn't mean it's a bad food, but foods that you consider are bad foods, you need to start introducing them into your diet slowly and confidently and in small amounts so that you feel comfortable eating those things during the week. Now, the reason that the 5-day perfectionist struggles is because she doesn't allow herself anything during the week. She eats perfectly. Everything's healthy, everything's perfect, and she doesn't eat any of that bad food. Okay, and the problem with that is that she feels restricted and she starts thinking about that food, the lollies, the chocolate, whatever it is. As soon as you decide to say to yourself, I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to cut out sugar. I'm not going to have hot chips. I'm not going to drink wine. I'm not going to eat chocolate. What does your brain do? It literally goes into overdrive and starts thinking about that thing all the time, every minute of every day. And that's what happens with the 5-day perfectionist is when you say, I'm only going to eat perfect foods and eat perfectly during the week, you feel restricted and that food noise is massive and it just takes over your thought processes, your hunger, every single thing, so focused on all of the things that you're missing out. Try and include small amounts of the foods that you love into your daily diet, whether that's a little bit of chocolate after dinner. Just try and include a little bit into your week of eating. And this will help you feel less restricted. And it will also show you that the world's not going to end if you have a couple of squares of chocolate or some dessert, something that you really crave, just a packet of chips while you're watching your favorite Netflix series. The world's not going to end and you're not going to gain 5 kilos just because you had some of those things throughout the week and incorporated into the rest of your healthy diet. So really allowing yourself to eat some of those things, especially throughout the week, because that will help you to break out of that all or nothing and this perfectionist mindset around eating. Okay, number 4. And I think this is probably my biggest tip, I have to say. And I would say that this has probably been one of the biggest keys to my success, the biggest keys to our Hype Gal members' success. And it is this thing. It is doing this one thing. So we all have this all or nothing mindset. Okay. So we're either we eat well for a week or two and then we just give it all up, or we're the 5-day perfectionist and we eat perfectly for 5 days. And then on the weekend, everything falls apart. Now, you need to do this one thing when things fall apart. So instead of saying to yourself, oh, okay, well, that just didn't go to plan and this wasn't perfect and now I'm going to have to start all over again because I didn't do it perfectly and I haven't hit my calories and I didn't do my workouts and everything's bad and we get in this spiral. I just want you to take a second. I want you to ditch the guilt. Okay. I want you to let go of all those bad feelings that you have about yourself, that you feel guilty, that you've failed, that you've somehow let yourself down, that you're never going to make this work. Let it go and just pick up again at your next meal. That is it. Let it go and pick up again at your next meal. So that day was awful. That meal was awful. Oh, well, who cares? Let it go, ditch the guilt, and let's start again at the next meal. Do not wait until Monday. Do not wait until next month. Do not wait until after your best friend's wedding. Do not wait until after work slows down, because none of those things are ever going to happen. Part of creating a healthy lifestyle that you can maintain for the long term is learning how to do this while you navigate the rest of your day-to-day busy life. So every time from now on that you have a day where it's like, that was such a bad day of eating, or you went out for dinner and you totally overate on all this food, or at the couch at night and it's Netflix and you've just like binge watched all these shows and eaten like so much food. Oh, well, who cares? Let it go, ditch the guilt and just start again at your next meal. And what I mean by start again at your next meal, I mean, make a healthy choice. That's it. And what you will find is each time you pick up and go again, you're starting from a better place. You're starting from a place with more confidence. And each time you do it, it'll just get easier and easier and easier. And so over time, you'll slowly start to ditch that all or nothing. And you'll just kind of go, nah, okay. You shrug your shoulders and you go, you know what? That wasn't a great day of eating, or that meal wasn't fantastic. Oh, well, let it go. And you'll just pick up and you'll just eat a healthy meal at your next meal. It is that simple to start to create consistency and flow with your healthy eating. And my very last tip, and this is a good one too. Tip number 5, patience and practice. This is a skill, okay? Remember, the belief that you have around eating perfectly is one that has been with you forever, probably since that you were a little girl, okay? So you need patience and practice to learn this new skill. So the first time you become aware of it, you're probably going to relapse and do the same thing over again. But if you keep becoming aware of it and you keep making these small changes, and like I said, picking up and going again when you fall off track, you will find that it will get better, it will get easier. And what you'll notice over time is that you will slowly start to let go of this all or nothing mindset, and you'll start to enjoy little bits of your favorite foods during the week. It is all about patience and practice. And remember, this belief about food and having to eat healthy means perfect eating has been with you forever. So you're literally having to rewire your brain and undo years of unhealthy food thoughts and beliefs. Okay, so don't expect that for the first time you're just going to go, okay, well, I'll just pick up and go again and that it's going to just feel fantastic. Because it won't. The first time that you do it, it'll feel a bit awkward, a bit uncomfortable, and you kind of be like, oh, okay, no, maybe I should go and work out for 2 hours and maybe I should restrict to burn off the extra calories. And they're the thoughts that you have in your head. And that's when you have to step in and say, no, you know what? I'm just going to feel the feelings, let go of the guilt and just start again the next time. And like I said, each time you do it, it will just get easier and easier and easier. And you'll just start to find that you're going, oh, okay, I'm starting to not have this all or nothing mindset about everything, and that I can eat out with my friends on the weekend and still eat healthy. I can have a glass of wine and I can still go to the gym. We have to start shaking this mindset as women that we can't do both. Okay? And it's a huge thing that I teach our Hype Gal members. You get to do both. Like, that's my thing. You get to do both. You get to go to the gym. You get to go for a walk. You get to meal prep. You get to eat healthy, but you also get to go out with your girlfriends. You also get to sit on the couch and watch Netflix and eat snacks. It doesn't have to be one or the other, all or nothing, on or off, start, stop. And I promise you, this is the secret to your lasting success. If you can start to break free from this belief that you have to do everything absolutely on the spot perfectly, or you do nothing at all, okay, that's what's forever going to keep you stuck. If you can start to create a new food mindset, start to shake those old beliefs, you will literally be unstoppable, and you will feel like you just get this ease and flow and freedom around food and the food choices that you're making and the way that you choose to exercise and move your body. And it is the best feeling ever, and you will never, ever want to go back. Hope that you enjoyed listening to today's episode. Don't forget to, if you love the show, to leave us a 5-star rating or review. And also to, if you are looking for some recipe ideas, I've got my 5 days of healthy dinners. There's my banana bread. There's loads of recipes on my Instagram in my bio at The Active Bod. So don't forget to check those out if you're needing some new recipes and meal ideas. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you all in our next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing, because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram at The Active Bod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.